Hello. There was no reason to do that so dramatically, but here we are. So hello everyone, welcome back. I just wanted to make a quick kind of update video, and then I also have some yo-yo things to talk about. But first things first, I got a new toy. Do you believe in magic? This little guy is a DJI microphone. I've been wanting to get one of these wireless microphones for a while just to beef up the audio. I really hope it's working right now. I'd be really sad if the audio wasn't on right now, but I think we're good. I think I've set it up all right. Regardless, just wanted to kind of give a quick check-in with you guys, let you know what's going on in my life, and we'll roll from there. So I am back in the United States of America. Yes, good to be back, good to be back. In case you guys didn't know, I studied abroad for the last 5 months in Madrid, Spain, and then also did a bunch of traveling on the weekends. So it has definitely been a crazy last 5 months. However, I do miss Europe so much. I had an amazing time. And for any of you yo-yo viewers that I met while I was abroad, thank you for making my experience so special. It was a lot of fun to meet you guys, yo-yo with you. The European yo-yo community is just amazing, and so I can't thank you enough for that. But yeah, I'm back home now in Chicago, Illinois. I'll actually be moving downtown to the city in a couple of days for my internship. I'll be having an internship this summer for the next 3 months. But yeah, life is good. I am so excited about this cool microphone I got right here. I'm really hoping it's gonna spruce up the audio, make everything sound a lot better, and prevent any echo and stuff like that happens. In terms of what you can expect for videos coming out within the next couple of months, I would say that, you know, I'll still be doing obviously my yo-yo reviews and a few tutorials here and there. I'll definitely be busy with my internship, which is something I'm definitely going to focus on a whole lot. However, I'll still make time for yo-yo videos and pumping out tutorials and reviews as usual. And I'm sure many of you guys saw my recent slow-mo yo-yo video. That was a lot of fun to put together. Just thought I would film a little bit of slow-mo yo-yo footage with some good lighting and a good camera. And so that was a lot of fun to put together. Make sure to check it out. It'll be the first link in the description down below if you haven't seen it already. But another reason I wanted to make this video today is to check out what is in this box right here. So I've actually already done the opening for it, but inside we have a new yo-yo from Circle City Yo-Yos. It's actually a prototype. And so in this video, I kind of just want to talk about my first impressions, my thoughts on it, and what I would improve before the actual final production design has been made. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we're going to chat a little bit about the new Circle City Yo-Yos Odium. I think that's how you say it. Okay, so for starters, I'm looking at the Odium right here. It's definitely more of an undersized yo-yo. I mean, the specs in general just make this a pretty undersized yo. It's not the most wide in the world, and it also feels like a little bit of a pocket throw. It can kind of fit in your hand a lot easier than some other yo-yos. So undersized yo-yos are interesting. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of undersized yo-yos, to be honest, because I think it makes it a little harder to hit your tricks. But if you like small yo-yos, this one is looking pretty good. Now, in terms of the design, it's kind of got an interesting H shape. They definitely went pretty crazy with the rim weight here. You can see that those rims have like a ton of metal around there. They're really pretty beefy, and I'll talk a little bit more in the play section just how that translates. However, you can see in the design there's a main focus of rim weight. Like I said, this has kind of a bit of a more narrow gap. Maybe I'm just so used to wide yo-yos that I kind of see any yo-yo that isn't super wide as being narrow, but that's just my opinion. I think of it as a little bit more of a narrow yo-yo, which again, I'm not the biggest fan of because it makes it a little bit harder to hit your tricks. But for some of you that prefer a little bit more of like a pocket-sized yo-yo, this could be a good candidate. In general, shape feels comfortable in the hand, no complaints there. Feels comfortable when I'm holding it, and when you bind it back, it doesn't have sharp rims or anything that would make it hurt, so I'm a big fan of that. In general, this feels a little bit more of like a competition-oriented shape. You see how we have those really sharp kind of ridges in the actual shape? That signals to me that you're focusing a little bit more on competition and just making it an angular yo-yo. And then turning on over to the cup, yes, we've got a massive rim there like I explained before. That's going to translate actually really nicely to thumb grinds. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it's got a nice lip right there to lock your thumb in. And then if you look into the center, it actually does have a finger spin little dimple in the center. Overall, this just looks like a pretty undersized, basic, standard competition yo-yo, but it looks well designed. Now, in terms of play, granted, I've only been throwing this thing for like literally a day, but I would say it's a little bit more on the heavy side, which isn't to my liking since I like my yo-yos to be a little bit lighter, but everyone has their own preference, so to each his own. I think the play feels very solid. This is one of those long spinning yo-yos. I was impressed that it had a good amount of stability. You know, I'd throw at it a pretty hard trick, and it definitely would have that kind of kickback where it comes back to your hand with a lot more stability and spin than you'd expect. That's a good thing. I like to have a lot of spin on my yo-yos, so I'm definitely impressed with that. Additionally, I think it's also worth noting that this felt a little bit on the sluggish side, so I'm not exactly sure what design choices would have to be made to change this. However, in my personal opinion, I thought it was a little bit hard to maneuver. And so if any work can be done to kind of change that up, I think that'd be a positive for this yo-yo, just to make it a little bit more agile. I think agility is something that people don't actually realize they like so much about a yo-yo, but it's kind of the idea of your yo-yo doing what you want faster. And so when a yo-yo is reluctant to moving, it kind of feels sluggish. It feels like you're having to put in more effort to get it to do the trick you want. And so agility is a feature that I think generally has a pretty positive light, but again, everyone's got their own preference. I think it's also worth noting that, again, this is a more narrow yo-yo, so some tricks were a little bit harder to hit, I must say. I guess in terms of advice, I might recommend extending the width a little bit more. I think that the shape itself and design is really, really nice, but if it was almost stretched, I think it could perform even better. Obviously, there'd be complications with weight and the rest of the specs, but I think in general, just opening up that gap a little bit more might be nice for players like me that appreciate a more kind of open and wide yo-yo. But in general, this thing felt pretty solid. It definitely stayed on plane really well. It had good stability. Again, it lacked a little bit of agility and maneuverability. However, I was still able to kind of complete most of my tricks. And another nice thing about having an undersized yo-yo is it's a lot easier for chopsticks or like dense string configurations. And so that is a plus about having an undersized yo-yo. It's going to be able to fit into those complex tricks a little bit on the easier. Now, I'm not exactly sure if the prototype of this yo-yo is the final response system. I personally found the response to be a little bit on the slippy. I found it was slipping from some binds, not all. However, before making this a production design, I would definitely maybe throw in a different set of default pads that the yo-yo comes with, or maybe just change up a little bit how the response and kind of response pads sit so that it feels just a bit more grippy. Again, it could be the string that I'm using, but I'm using OT string, and in general that's performed pretty well with most yo-yos, and I found with this one it was slipping just a little bit. Again, that's no big deal, but just something to throw into for that final design. In general, love the color of this thing. The red really pops out. It looks super nice, and also the design of the yo-yo is definitely just clean. You can't really knock it for anything. It just looks like a nice looking yo-yo in general. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the new Circle Cities yo-yo. It's a prototype. Again, not everything's gonna be perfect, but that's just my kind of first opinion. I'm sure they'll be changing up a couple things and the final version will be absolutely amazing. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye on their social medias. I'll include all of their links and stuff in the description down below so you can check them out after this video. I think that's all I wanted to say in this video. I definitely wanted to flex my new DJI mic. I like this thing a lot. It's a lot of fun to talk into. I can clip it on, I can put it wherever, I can even use it with my phone. So this is not an advertisement for DJI, but if you guys want to sponsor me and send me some more of these, that'd be really sweet. Or even a drone. A drone would be so cool. But yeah, this is about it for my video. Just want to kind of check in with you guys, let you know what I'm doing. And again, thank you to all of those in Europe that made my experience so special. Those were some of the coolest 5 months of my entire life. I did and saw so many amazing things, and I can't thank the yo-yo players enough that offered me hospitality, kindness, and really just kind of hung out with me, which was awesome. I will be in the US for the foreseeable future. However, I do want to return to Europe and see you guys again. That'd be a lot of fun. For those of you asking about upcoming contests, I probably won't be going to nationals since my internship will keep me pretty busy, and I definitely won't be going to worlds because that sounds extremely expensive. But since I'm based in the Midwest, I'd love to go to any Midwest contests or yo-yo meetups that pop up. So I'll be on the lookout for those guys. All right, that's about it for my video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Also, if you're new here, haven't seen my videos before, hit the subscribe button so you can see whenever I post a new video. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.